Hello. Today I'm going to be doing my first voiced video ever, so I hope you guys like it. Anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing the sour boost gummies from the Super Mario Galaxy movie, made in collaboration with Feastables under the Mr. Beast brand. I think it's pretty cool, and I'm going to be giving an honest review on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Alright, so let's get into it. First, I'd like to say that the graphics in the Mario Galaxy movie were actually quite good. I think they were a lot better than the original movie, and I think they're probably one of the greatest video game adaptation graphics ever, honestly, in any movie ever. Second, I'd like to say that the plot was all over the place. So there were a lot of references, which I do like, because there's references to the N64, obviously the whole War Casino section, you know, with Birdo and Mouser, and I like that they included stuff like the Cloud power-up from Super Mario Galaxy 2, and even the Drill power-up from Super Mario Wonder, not the actual drill thing that you use in Super Mario Galaxy 2, because, you know, it looked a little weird to use that, and I do appreciate that they branched out a little bit, so I think that's pretty cool, and I like that they used the Ruined Dragon in one of the scenes. I also thought it was really cool. But let's get to the negatives. First, a lot of people are saying it's just reference slop, as I previously described a lot of references. It is not reference slop. I, as a longtime Nintendo fan, I found that it is very enjoyable and the references are not all up in your face at all. I do feel like they did go pretty heavy on the references, but it wasn't so in your face and so mainstay in the plot that it felt interfering with it. I will say that the plot itself is kind of bad. Spoiler, but I probably will already put a warning in the description. Rosalina and Peach have been rewritten out of their canon roles and are apparently now sisters. I think the flashback scene was a little goofy, but I like that they were actually acting like sisters, but I kind of felt like it was a little bit forced, and it didn't have enough time at the end to really establish a proper relationship. So, let's talk about the beginning, the first half of the film. It was definitely a lot better paced in the second half. I like the Yoshi montage section when Yoshi went off and was going around the city, being pretty cool. I think the first scene, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but the Toastereras or something like that. I don't know. I'll probably put it up in the video. But I liked when they went to the Mario Odyssey town and saw the inverted pyramid. That was pretty cool. I also like the Star Festival reference, even though it's technically Peach's birthday. Spoiler, it's not her birthday. It's just when they found her on the Mushroom Kingdom. I did really like the other montage with where they were clearing up problems in the Mushroom Kingdom, but it was like Mario levels and there was different areas in it. That was also really cool, and I do think that there's a lot of montages in this movie, and I do like that because I do like a faster paced movie. But I do want it to have some time to appreciate, you know, the grand scale and sometimes the loneliness of Super Mario Galaxy, how the original game had, because like Rosalina's backstory in that game is actually really sad because, you know, her mom died, her father and brother are just like off, who knows where, probably dead as well, because when you move at the speed of light, time dilation happens, so a lot less time happens for you than it happens for the rest of the time, rest of the people, so that's pretty sad. I don't really like giving the Lumas mouths. I mean, technically, from the original storybook in the Mario Galaxy games, it does have the Lumas have a smile for a brief moment to really emphasize that they're trying to cheer Rosalina up, but it just feels a little weirdish, and I feel like giving them individual personalities in a movie that's so fast-paced is kind of bad, because if it was like a 2-hour movie, giving them all personalities would be much better. Well, I think it's time to try our first gummy. This is the sour watermelon gummy. It's supposed to represent a starbit, which I think is pretty good. actually not bad. I like how it's actually gummy and not like a chewable. I can really feel the sour taste, but it's not too strong, which I like. I'm not the biggest fan of watermelon, but I do think it's a really good flavor overall. Back to the review. I do like the casino scene, and you know, the entrance into Gateway Galaxy. But I think it's a little weird that it's like a coliseum, but like you actually go into it and there's like a whole pavilion. I do like the idea of a pavilion, but I don't think it's really appropriate for like, because it's the Gateway Galaxy is supposed to be more of like a metaphorical opening to start. Like there is literally a gateway there to get to deeper space, but there shouldn't be like a, you know, like an airport there. But I did like how they included a bunch of characters from other games, and then we get into Rob. Rob, peak Rob. Rob is peak, bro. I don't think you want to change anything about that. I also think the Pikmin was kind of funny, though they were kind of on screen for a little bit too long to just be a little reference, because I think a Pikmin movie would be good, but it a little bit lasted too long. Then we get into Fox McCloud. Now, funnily enough, Fox McCloud is in more of the movie screen time than Rosalina herself, the character that's literally introduced in the game you're basing the movie off of. And I find that hilarious, honestly. But Fox McCloud, peak character, even more peak than Rob, bro. Besides Yoshi, he's my favorite character in the movie, energy-wise and lines-wise. Every line was peak. I think the guy, Glenn something, he played him really well. I think the animatic sequence at the beginning was really cool. I liked how that they explained why he got into that thing, and I like how later he pilots the Comet Observatory and does a barrel roll, and I don't know if everybody got that reference, but it's a peak reference because I've played some of the Star Fox games. They're pretty good, actually. And I think that was pretty good to include him, though. Getting on to the next scene, I think Peach leaving with... Sorry, the previous scenes. Peach leaving with Toad was a good idea, and I liked how they made her write a letter to Mario. Nice reference to the first game, and technically the second game as well. But I don't like the wording of it a little bit, and also the PNG they use for Peach does not match the facial expression of the original game, but still I feel like it's a neat reference. Getting on to the next scene, the Yoshi's Island sequence is pretty good, though it is not needed at all. Honestly, I hate to say this, but the movie would be better if they didn't have that scene, or the casino scene, honestly. I mean, they can still have Wart, Birdo, and Mouser. I mean, I don't really like Birdo, and Mouser is a pretty meh character, but either of those scenes, they really don't need to be in there for getting to the plot, because, like, Mario Galaxy is a very structured game, and to make it have a bunch of references to the game, so I'm kind of saying it's reference slop, but I'm not saying it's reference slop, I'm just saying the pacing could be a little bit better. But anyway, I'm going to try the next gummy flavor. This is mushroom. It's just cherry flavored, I'm pretty sure. Actually, wait, no, is it? Oh, wait, strawberry flavored. Smells pretty good. Actually, that's pretty good. Not gonna lie, Mr. Beast, you did not disappoint. But anyway, yeah, I do think the two scenes, like the casino scene and the other scene, could not have to be included. But I do think they were really cool. The Comet Observatory scenes where Fox pilots the Comet Observatory, it's really freaking cool, and I love how right when they're pulling up to Bowser's place, you can hear the beginning of the final stage, and I really love that. Speaking of the Comet Observatory, the first scene was pretty good. I liked it, though I did think that they were trying to make Rosalina Ore Farm a little too hard, because then she immediately gets captured by Bowser Jr., and I think that's kind of funny, because like, oh, she's so powerful, oh no, she just got captured immediately, and I think that's kind of funny, but I do think that's a good scene overall. Bowser is still a peak character. His lines are hilarious. I love how he's taken in this movie, though the way they took him from being good and literally, spoiler alert, kissing Mario in the movie. He literally kisses Mario, bro. To like literally wanting to murder him and going back to the Super Mario 1 style and literally going on the drawbridge and turning into dry brow Bowser and turning into an undead king of bones just to try and kill Mario it wasn't handled well. It's a great idea. I love the idea. Terrible execution. Horrible. Horrendous. I think a lot of people have already told you this about how it's a little confusing, but I think he was generally handled well in the movie, but I feel like he had a lot of improvement, Bowser, that could have been made. And Bowser Jr., his eyes being red is weird, completely unnecessary, but his voice actor is controversial to have him voice Bowser Jr., but I actually really love, even though he sounds like a middle-aged man, I kind of love how he sounds like that. I just think it's kind of funny. And I love the idea of Bowser Jr. still being loved by his father and still loving his father despite being basically neglected for many years. And I love how they reconnect and Bowser gets to his old ways. Planet Bowser. Good reference to Mario Bros. Wonder. Not needed at all, but it looks insanely cool, bro. Oh, and the puppet show part of the movie was really good. It was actually really hilarious, and we all laughed in the movie theater, me and my family. Great scene. The next scene I'd like to talk about is the ending one. The really, really long ending one. Now, as I've said before, it starts with triumphant music from the final stage. That is great. It should have lasted longer, though. Speaking of which, all of the music in this movie is so peak. Even the random orchestral appearances and, arrangements, they were all peak, but they did not last long at all. And I swear, if you were going to put Super Mario Galaxy in a Mario movie, you need to let the music last longer. Dude, you barely even see any galaxies, so at least let the music take care and make a beautiful experience. And it did for the most part, except randomly, it would change to random, Triller music. It just doesn't make sense. And I could have been better. It really could have been executed better. But anyway, I love the scene, the Bowser Jr. trap scene. I loved seeing Bowser Jr. be kind of a sociopath, because he is in real life, and he's kind of a little piece of crap in real life, but I think that's funny how it was executed, and how Bowser Jr. keep trying to kill Mario and Peach, but he completely failed, and Bowser's just like, dude, chill. And obviously I'm not trying to say kill Mario, obviously Mario's a Sigma character, but I just thought it was funny how they handled that. The final scene, when Bowser turns into a Dry Bones and, I don't know, Wonder Bowser Jr. transforms into, Lava Bowser Jr., and he just starts making up titles. He's like, I'm the king, he's the king of Bones, Bowser, and I'm the king of, whatchamacallit, something. I don't even know what they're talking about in this case. But anyway, I think it was funny how they executed it, though it's a little weird how, they do the battling, all that. Cloud power-up, great. Yoshi floating power-up, also great. I loved that. And Mario being Drill Mario from Mario Wonder, also great. I love how they are beating Bowser, but then Bowser Jr. gets really mad because they kind of kill Bowser. They don't actually kill him, because it's a kid's movie. But I do like how they Bowser Jr. Got under control and kind of summoned the Ruin Dragon, and it ate him, and then Mario had to save him, and then Bowser was like, oh, hey, he's not too bad. I still want to kill Mario, but I'll give him credit. He did save my son, so I'll be sure of him for now. But then they kind of just, let Bowser and Bowser Jr. go collect Bowser's bones that fell off and stuff. Anyway, so at the end, I know I'm getting a little bit off track, but this movie plot is all over the place. I'm just going to try the last gummy because I have a lot to discuss about afterward. This is question mark block, and it's a random flavor, so I don't even know what that was, but it was pretty good. So the lore scenes leading up to Peach and Rosalina being sisters, And the whole scene where Rosalina gets trapped is cool, but then they completely ruin it by having Rosalina just be like, oh, let's beat it with the power of friendship. Even though Rosalina is clearly dying. She's basically dead at this point. And then when she and Peach touch, not in a weird way, bro, it's a kid's movie, come on, don't be weird. Anyway, she immediately gets healed to full health, and I don't understand that. Matter and energy goes somewhere. She does not get random energy from nowhere. Like, sure, Peach and Rosalina share energy, but even if they did do that, which the movie specifically does not do, they just use their power of friendship to spread it across the universe, not spread it among themselves. Peach and Rosalina are still perfectly fine afterward. Rosalina should at least be like leaning on Peach's shoulders, like finally showing that Rosalina can rest and rely on someone else, like being a mother and stuff to the Lunas and such. But they didn't do that, and that just sucks. And the universe not resetting, that was a missed opportunity. I mean, I know they would have never done it. It's a kids movie, again. It's a movie for all ages. But that would have been so cool, dude. To have it like reset and like it always resets, but it's always not the same. And then they have Bowser, kind of like how he was in the beginning, but kind of pacified. Like he becomes more chill. Like probably he's still gonna be evil a little bit, but probably have him be a little bit chill. I think that would have been a good direction to go. But they didn't do it, so it sucks and turn him into grass. I do admit the grass transformation was really good, but I don't think they handled it correctly. And in the final scene where they're building the castle, that was a peak. Mario World, Super Mario World, is a peak way to use that, and then it just ends. And Peach kisses Mario and all that, but they don't actually go on a date because that was one of the jokes presented by Luigi and among the whole movie and stuff, and it just felt refreshing to end on that note. It was over too quick, despite being 8 minutes longer than the first movie, and I feel like that's frustrating. Now, in general, I give it an 8 out of 10. Now, I know you're saying I made it sound really bad, but I still genuinely love Mario, and I still love the series. I just wish the pacing and plot would have been better. If it had been like, the plot would have slowed down a little bit and chilled, and they would have incorporated more Mario Galaxy elements instead of having, like, you know, like, the casino scene and the Yoshi's Island scene, it would have been a lot better of a movie. And speaking of which, I don't feel like it should have been a Galaxy movie for the second one. I mean, I know Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time. The music is by far agreed to be experts the greatest video game soundtrack ever made. So I'm not saying I hate Mario Galaxy. I love Mario Galaxy to death. Okay, guys, I love Mario Galaxy, but it should have been a Super Mario Bros. World movie because they would have had time to introduce Yoshi as a character for the future of the series, and it would have been a chill way to, you know, like, introduce Bowser Jr. I mean, obviously, they couldn't put him in there, but, like, you know, like, kind of combine 64, Sunshine, and Super Mario World in a one title to, like, you know, like, introduce the Koopalings, Bowser Jr., Yoshi, and give a greater prevalence to previous characters and let them develop, and still give it a more structured feeling, but allow it to, like, actually go in depth with the characters. And then the third movie, the final movie, would be Mario Galaxy, because that was the pinnacle of Nintendo Cinema, and they incorporated a lot of amounts of like, Odyssey and Mario Wonder. I thought it would have been a great way to cop it out with the Galaxy resetting and leaving ways for, like, a Luigi's Mansion movie, or, like, you know, like, or, like, a Donkey Kong movie, which has already been in the works, or, like, a Star Fox movie, or even a Super Smash Bros. Movie. That's what they've been talking about. But anyway, so I feel like it would have been better to go with Mario World, and then Mario Galaxy is the final movie in the trilogy, and I feel like the plot could have been made a lot better. But in general, I'd rate this movie an 8 out of 10. A must-watch for everyone because it's super fun regardless of how bad the pacing is. The first half was actually really good in its pacing and its animation and jokes, but the second half kind of lost the plot, but was still a good time overall. Thank you for staying with me in this, like, I don't know, like 15, 16, 17 minute yapping sesh, but I hope you have a really great day, guys. And these gummies, I rate them 7.5 out of 10. They could have had a little bit more flavor, but they were all great flavors. I'm sorry, a little bit more flavor in the actual gummies, but the flavors they chose for the gummies were pretty good. Thank you for all the support you've given. Almost 10,000 views for my channel, and I really appreciate that. Like 19 subs, 20 subs. I know it's not a lot of subs, but for someone like me just starting out YouTube, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you. This has been my first voiced video, so I hope you like it. Don't worry, I'll put spoilers in the title. I'll put that up. Has spoilers in the title and in the description, so nobody gets spoiled, because I do not want to ruin anyone's experience. And I hope you have a great day and a great night wherever you are. And I love you guys. So thank you. Goodbye.